A warm and pleasant good morning to all of you present here. Today I, Somil Agarwal of class 10B, is going to perform a flip teaching on the poem Fire and Ice written by Robert Frost. About the author, Robert Lee Frost, born on 26 March 1874 and died on 29 January 1963, was an American poet. His work was initially published in England before it was published in America. He is known for his realistic depictions of rural life and his command of American speech. Frost frequently wrote about settings from rural life in New England in the early 20th century, using them to examine complex social and philosophical themes. Frost was honored frequently during his lifetime and is the only poet to receive four Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. He became one of America's rare public literary figures. He was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal in 1960 for his poetic works. Now I will read out the poem. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Now I will tell you the summary of the poem. The poem is a debate among the people about the end of the world. Some say that it will be consumed by fire, while others believe that Earth will experience ice age. According to the poet, it will be consumed by fire. Here, the poet has metaphorically represented fire and ice as the strong emotions of people. He symbolizes fire with the uncontrollable desires of men, such as greed, lust, and rage, while ice with hatred, coldness, and rigidity. These strong emotions are enough to destroy the sanity and virtues of mankind, which ultimately will lead to the destruction of the world. Now, let's look into the detailed explanation of this poem line by line. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. These few first line, these first few lines describe the disagreement in general society on the topic of how the world ends. The poet is merely stating that people debate on whether the world will be consumed by fire or frozen up by ice. Ice and fire, of course, are opposite of one another, suggesting that most people have entirely opposing views on the apocalypse. Ice and fire also represent two extremes, which on a grand scale could cause immense damage. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Here the speaker provides his own opinion. He equates fire with desire, greed, lust, rage, etc. A candle or a fireplace shows a person the way. Its warmth and the light acts as a guide. In the same way, small desires are no trouble at all and can guide a person to the things they want in life. But on a larger scale, fire is dangerous and destructive. Similarly, uncontrollable desires pose danger and bring doom to the world and whole mankind. The speaker recalls his experiences with strong desire and tends to believe that it is those kind of emotions and impulses that lead the world to its doom. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. On the other hand, the speaker equates ice with the emotions like hatred, coldness, selfishness, and rigidity. He believes that if fire somehow wasn't enough to destroy the whole world entirely, then ice could manage the feat as well. He thinks that ice is equally dangerous and destructive. It is something that would chill the world, slow it down, and isolate each individual enough that the human race simply couldn't survive it. The potential of ice will be sufficient to destroy the world. Even though the speaker tends to believe in the destructive power of desire, he sees no reason to believe that hate couldn't end the world just as easily. Now, we all know that poetic devices are tools that a poet can use to create rhythm, enhance a poem meaning, or intensify a mood or feeling. So now we will look at some poetic devices used in this poem. The repetition of a word or phrase at the beginning of successive clauses is called anaphora. Here the word some say is repeated in first and second line, making it an example of anaphora. A metaphor is used in an imaginative way to show that somebody or something has the same qualities as another things. Here, fire and ice compared to passion and hatred respectively makes it an example of metaphor. Imagery is a literary device that uses figurative language to describe objects and help readers to picture the scene as if it was real. Here, fire and ice have deeper meaning. Fire means feeling of burning desire, and ice means coldness or hatred. The occurrence of the same letter or word or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words is called alliteration. Here, the words some say and favor fire are examples of alliteration. The continuation of a sentence without a pause beyond the end of a line or stanza is called enjambment. Hereafter, I think I know enough of hate. The next line is continued without any pause, making it an example of enjambment. The last is the rhyme scheme. So the rhyme scheme of this poem is ABA, ABC, BCB for respective stanzas. Now we will look at some questions of this chapter. First, what is the contradictory opinion of the people? Would anybody like to answer this question? If yes, please unmute and speak.
Raise your hand, children.
Okay, so the contradictory opinion of people is the debate whether the world will end in fire or ice. Second question, how are ice and fire similar to each other though they have contradictory traits? Is Would anybody like to answer this question?
Fire and ice are similar, though they have contradictory traits, because they both are responsible for the destruction of world.
Yes, ice symbolizes hatred and fire symbolizes desire of human beings. And the poet believes that though fire and ice have contradictory traits, but they have the same quality to destroy everything on this earth, and thus making them similar to each other. The last question, discuss how extreme behavior can hasten the end of the world with respect to fire and ice. Okay, I will tell the answer myself. If hatred for one another reaches an extreme, then people will end up hating everyone else for some or the other thing. There will be no harmony, and the psychological conflict would also lead to destruction of the world. In this way, extreme behavior can hasten the end of this world. I hope this poem was understood by you, and my explanation would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Shomit.